What if I told you the single most powerful thing you can do today to help prevent a fall is not a gadget, not a fancy pair of grip socks, not a bathroom handrail, and not even a brand new workout plan? What if the answer is way simpler than that? It is a change in the way you walk. Just one small, specific adjustment to a movement you have been doing your whole life, and chances are you have been doing it the wrong way for years without even realizing it. After 26 years working with adults over 70 as a physical therapist, I have seen this same pattern more times than I can count. Someone comes into my clinic after a fall, looking confused, even embarrassed, and they say, "I was just walking across the kitchen. I wasn't doing anything unusual." And they are right. They were not doing anything unusual. That is exactly the issue, because the way they walk every day has slowly become risky, and nobody ever told them. Today, I want to change that for you. I want to show you what is probably happening in your walking pattern right now, why it may be putting you at real risk, and the one simple change that can start protecting you immediately, beginning with your very next step. No equipment, no gym, no complicated routine, just one adjustment that could truly save your life. Before we get into it, if you have not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that button and turn on the bell so you do not miss another health tip made just for you. And if you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If you do not, type 0 and let me know how I can do better. The issue is shuffle gait. Let me paint a picture, and I want you to be honest with yourself about whether this sounds familiar. Imagine someone walking down a hallway. Their steps are short, much shorter than they used to be. Their feet barely lift off the floor, almost sliding forward in a low, shuffling motion, instead of rising cleanly with each step. Their upper body leans a little forward, their eyes are angled down toward the ground, and their arms hardly swing at all. They are moving carefully, almost cautiously, because deep down they do not fully trust the floor anymore. That is called a shuffle gait, and it is one of the most common walking patterns I see in adults over 70. It usually develops so slowly that people do not notice it happening. What starts as a little extra caution after one close call turns into a habit. The steps get shorter, the feet stop lifting, the posture tips forward, and what feels like careful, safe walking is actually one of the highest risk movement patterns the body can adopt. Here is why. When your feet skim close to the floor, any tiny change in that surface, a rug edge, a small rise in the flooring, a crack in the sidewalk, becomes a trip hazard in an instant. There simply is not enough clearance between the foot and the ground for anything to go wrong without going very wrong. And because the steps are short and the body is already pitched forward, the moment a toe catches something, there is almost no time and no room to recover. The fall can happen before you even realize you are falling. Shuffle gait also points to something deeper. The muscles that lift your legs, your hip flexors, your glutes, your core, have weakened from being underused. And the communication line between your brain and your legs has slowed down too. The good news is that both of those problems can be improved, and it starts with one change. The change I want you to make is this. From this moment on, every step you take should begin with your heel. This is called a heel strike, and it is how the human body is designed to walk. When you are young and your gait is natural and unguarded, your heel touches down first with each step. Then your weight rolls forward through the arch of the foot, across the ball, and finally pushes off through the toes to send you into the next step. It is smooth, efficient, and stable, and it is one of the best movement patterns the body naturally knows how to do. But over time, things change. As the muscles weaken and confidence in balance quietly slips away, that heel strike starts disappearing. The foot begins landing flat, or even toe first, and the whole pattern becomes shorter, lower, and far less stable. We stop rolling through the foot. We stop pushing off. We start shuffling. And with every month that shuffling continues, the muscles that create a proper heel strike get weaker because they are no longer being asked to do their job. So what does correcting this actually look like? It is easier than most people think. With every step, I want you to reach your heel just a little farther forward than you normally would. Only a few inches, and let that heel touch the ground first. Feel your weight move forward through the foot. Let your toes push off behind you as the next step begins. And most importantly, Bob, lift your foot. Do not drag it. Pick it up, reach it forward, and land on the heel. When you do that correctly, several things happen at once. Your step length naturally gets bigger, which improves stability and forward movement. Your foot clears the ground properly, which lowers the chance of catching on rough spots or obstacles. Your posture starts to improve almost automatically because the heel strike helps bring your weight back and upright instead of leaving you stuck in that forward-leaning shuffle. And your hip flexors, glutes, and core begin working again, which starts rebuilding the very strength that helps protect you from falling. One change, one simple adjustment, but it creates a chain reaction through the whole body, and suddenly your body starts working for you instead of against you with every step you take. Now I want to walk you through 5 exercises that can help make this new walking pattern feel natural, automatic, and strong. The first one is the conscious heel strike walk. Why does this matter? Because before anything else, you have to practice the heel strike itself, slowly, intentionally, and with full awareness. A lot of people who have been shuffling for months or years have honestly lost the motor pattern for a proper heel strike. The neural pathway that supports it has faded because it has not been used enough. This exercise helps rebuild that pathway by asking your brain and your legs to practice the movement correctly, one repetition at a time, until it starts becoming automatic again. Here is how to do it. Find a clear hallway or a long open space near a wall. Stand at one end with one hand lightly touching the wall if you need it for balance. Start walking, but this time think about one thing only, your heel. With every step, consciously reach your heel a little forward and let it land first. Notice the contact. Notice your weight rolling through the foot. Notice your toes pushing off. Take 10 steps forward this way, then turn carefully using small marching steps and walk back 10 steps. That is one set. Do 3 sets total. Rest for about 30 seconds between sets. The main thing to focus on here is slow control. Speed is the enemy when you are relearning movement. The slower you walk, the more awareness you have over each step, and the stronger the signal you send to your brain. Think of this less like a stroll and more like reprogramming. Once that feels comfortable on flat ground, you can try it on slightly different surfaces, like carpet versus hardwood. That small change makes your nervous system adapt and generalize the new pattern, which is exactly what you need for real-life safety. The second exercise is the high knee march. Why does this matter? Because one of the biggest consequences of shuffle gait is that the hip flexors, the muscles responsible for lifting your leg with each step, gradually weaken. When those muscles get weak, foot clearance drops. When foot clearance drops, every rug, threshold, and uneven patch becomes a trip risk. This exercise directly targets the hip flexors and helps rebuild that lifting reflex that keeps your feet safely off the ground with each stride. Here is how to do it. Stand behind a sturdy chair with both hands resting lightly on the back for support. March in place by lifting your right knee toward your chest as high as you comfortably can, then lowering it back to the floor with control. Then lift the left knee. That counts as one full repetition. Do 15 repetitions on each side. 30 total lifts at a slow and controlled pace. The lift should feel smooth and manageable. If it feels too easy, you are probably not lifting high enough. The key is to stand tall the whole time. Do not lean your upper body backward as your knee rises. Keep your torso upright. The work should come from the hip, not from body momentum or leaning. And pay attention to the lowering phase too, because bringing the leg back down under control builds the eccentric strength your leg needs every time your foot returns to the ground. As this gets easier, try practicing the march while slowly moving forward down your hallway, lifting each knee before stepping and landing the heel first. That combines this drill with the first one, which is one of the closest home-based simulations of proper walking you can train. The third exercise is the stride length walk. Why does this matter? Because shuffle gait shortens your stride a lot, often down to half or even less than what it used to be. And a short stride is an unstable stride. It reduces momentum, throws off your balance rhythm, and pushes your center of gravity into a forward-leaning position that makes you less steady. This exercise gently challenges you to lengthen your stride back toward a safer, more stable range, while rebuilding the confidence and muscle memory proper walking requires. Here is how to do it. Put 2 pieces of tape on the floor in your hallway about 18 inches apart. That is your target stride length. Stand at one end, step forward, and try to land your heel on or just beyond the second piece of tape. Then step with the other foot and land the heel at the same distance. Keep walking down the hallway this way for 10 full strides, then turn around and come back. Do 2 full lengths of the hallway. The focus here should be entirely on step length and heel contact. Do not lunge. Do not overreach. The goal is not a dramatic stretch, but a comfortable, natural extension of your stride. And if 18 inches feels too far, start with 12. The exact distance matters less than the habit of reaching that heel forward with intention every time. As you improve, move the tape a little farther apart, maybe half an inch at a time, and let your stride length grow gradually. Most people are shocked by how quickly the step starts to lengthen once they begin training it on purpose. The fourth exercise is the slow motion walk. Why does this matter? Because speed is where walking mechanics tend to fall apart. When we walk quickly, or even just at our normal everyday pace, we lean on habit and momentum instead of conscious muscle control. For someone who is trying to rebuild a walking pattern, speed works against the process. The slow motion walk takes speed out of the equation completely and forces every muscle involved in walking to work independently and with full control. It is one of the most powerful neurological training tools you can use to relearn safe movement. Here's how to do it. Stand at one end of your hallway and begin walking at the slowest pace you can manage. So slow that each step takes a full 3 to 4 seconds to complete. Lift your foot, pause briefly in the air, reach the heel forward, lower it to the floor, feel your weight shift, push off through the toes, and then begin the next step. Walk the full length of the hallway in this slow motion style, turn carefully, and come back. That counts as 1 set. Do 2 sets. The thing to remember is that this will feel strange. Slow motion walking is genuinely hard because it removes all the shortcuts your body has relied on for years. Every little wobble you feel is your balance system being trained. Every correction at the ankle is your nervous system getting sharper. That awkwardness is not a sign that you are doing it wrong. It is a sign that you are actually retraining something important. Once you feel steady near a wall, you can even try closing your eyes for 2 or 3 slow motion steps. That adds a big proprioceptive challenge and speeds up the neurological adaptation you are building. The fifth exercise is the obstacle step over. Why does this matter? Because the controlled hallway is just the starting point, and real life is full of obstacles. Rugs, door thresholds, pet toys, cords, garden hoses. All of them can become trip hazards for someone with shuffle gait and low foot clearance. This exercise trains your brain and your legs to notice an obstacle, lift the foot high enough to clear it, and land safely on the other side, which is exactly the sequence the body has to execute in a split second when real life throws something in the way. Here is how to do it. Place a pool noodle, a rolled-up towel, or another soft, lightweight object on the floor of your hallway. It should be about 4 to 6 inches high. Stand a few feet back from the obstacle with a wall or chair close by for support. Walk toward it at a normal, controlled pace. When you get to it, lift your right foot on purpose, high enough to clear the obstacle with room to spare, and step over. Then lift your left foot and clear it completely. Continue walking a few steps beyond it, turn carefully and walk back, stepping over the obstacle again. Do 5 passes in each direction for 10 total step-overs. The important thing is not to rush as you approach. Slow down a little as you get close. Pick the foot up early before you are right on top of the object and make a clear, confident step. The whole goal is to train your brain to spot an obstacle, respond before it becomes a problem, and clear it with control instead of panic. As you get better, you can change the obstacle slightly, maybe a little higher one week, a different texture the next. You can also practice stepping over it while holding something light in one hand, which is much closer to how real-life trips tend to happen. Now, before you begin any of these exercises, I need you to take this seriously, because your safety matters more than anything else. If you have recently had a hip or knee replacement, if you are being treated for plantar fasciitis or another heel condition, or if your doctor has told you to avoid weight-bearing exercise, talk with your physician or physical therapist before trying these movements. Some of them may need to be changed for your specific situation. Always practice near a wall, countertop, or sturdy chair. Never rush. Wear non-slip footwear or go barefoot on a safe surface. And if you feel sharp pain, dizziness, or anything that does not feel right, stop immediately. There is no movement here worth risking your safety. Go at your own pace and listen to your body. Over the last several minutes, you have seen how numbness and tingling in the legs and feet after 70 is not something you have to just accept as permanent. It starts with waking up the smallest muscles, the ones in your toes, arches, and ankles. From there, it moves upward through the ankle joint, the calf, and the full lower leg, rebuilding the circulation pathways that keep your nerves nourished and alive. Each exercise in this routine builds on the one before it, just the way the body likes to heal. The seated toe and ankle wake-up sends the first signal. The ball massage helps push blood into the smallest vessels. The heel-to-toe weight rock reconnects your nervous system to the ground beneath your feet. The towel toe curl rebuilds the intrinsic strength most people lose quietly over the years. And the controlled heel raise brings everything together into one movement your body can depend on every day. When you practice these exercises consistently, not perfectly but consistently, the changes can be real and lasting. The nighttime tingling that wakes you up may start to ease. The morning numbness that makes the first few steps feel uncertain can begin to resolve faster. The heavy, disconnected feeling in your feet can give way to something that feels much more like solid ground again. Circulation improves not through intensity, but through patience and repetition. Small movements done every day send a stronger message to the nervous system than aggressive workouts done once in a while. The body responds to what it is reminded of daily, and these exercises are that reminder. The long-term benefit reaches far beyond comfort. Healthy nerve function and strong leg circulation support your balance. They reduce the fear of falling that quietly takes over so many older adults. They help preserve the ability to walk to the mailbox, climb your own stairs, play with your grandchildren, and move through daily life without constantly wondering whether your legs will hold up. That kind of independence is not small. It is everything. Getting older does not mean giving up control over how your body feels. It means learning which movements your body truly needs at this stage of life, and choosing them every single day with care and intention. These exercises are that choice. Simple, safe, and powerful in ways that add up week after week. And now I want to hear from you. Is your numbness worse at night, during the day, or after long periods of sitting? Leave a comment with your age and where you are watching from. Your experience might be exactly what another viewer needs to hear today. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback really matters to us. And do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and here is to living life on your own terms. If you want, I can also make this sound more like a fast-paced American YouTube voiceover, or a calmer senior health documentary style.